Hi. So this is going to be a quick live stream. I just wanted to share something that I shared in short form content that is so important that I wanted to speak on it a little bit more live as a full video. If you're someone that is going through something and you can't afford therapy, a little hack that I like to use, and even if you are going to therapy, is to have a conversation with yourself because sometimes you might know the answer yourself if you dive a little deeper. Sometimes we talk to ourselves the absolute worst way possible. Like the things that we say to ourselves, we'd never say to someone that we'd love. So just by simply paying attention to the way that you're talking to yourself and having like a serious conversation with yourself, not like on some craziness like, "Hi, how are you?" but like kind of like I want you to have a conversation with yourself like you're your own. I want you to talk to yourself like you're your own daughter, or you're your own son, or you're your own someone that you love, and someone that you help, you give good advice to. I want you to picture you as them and ask yourself, what advice would you give them if they were in your situation? And oftentimes than not, if not all times, I always find like amazing advice and I come to like really huge realizations doing this activity with myself. Just by simply asking myself, okay, if I was my own older sister, what would I tell myself? And I'll realize that what I was telling myself previously was bullshit. Like some of us not only talk to ourselves horrible, but we also don't make any fucking sense. Excuse my French, but sometimes we don't make any sense. Like we'll tell ourselves, "Oh, well, I can't do this because I'm ugly." No, you're not. You're not ugly. Like sometimes we're telling ourselves stuff that is lies. Sometimes we're telling ourselves lies. You don't have to believe every thought that comes into your mind. And if you don't sit down and like observe how you're talking to yourself, it's just going to be on autopilot. And most of the time, you can get really negative. And you can change that. You can flip the script by really sitting down and asking yourself, like really talking to yourself from a different perspective. Because I know I'm not the only one. I feel like a lot of us, we give really good advice, but then when it comes to us, like sometimes it may not be hitting the same. Give yourself advice, like on some serious stuff, like give yourself advice. If you find yourself in a situation where you keep on self sabotaging, what would you tell your little sister? What would you tell your little brother to do? What would you tell your daughter to do? If you would tell your daughter to not do this because that will disrespect herself, then why are you doing it and why are you disrespecting yourself? If you would tell your little sister, don't do this because you're better than that, then why are you doing it? Because you're better than that. You know, it's like you get to see yourself from a different light and actually speak to yourself with kindness and patience because oftentimes we don't have that for our own selves. So I challenge you, not challenge you, but I really entice you to just sit down and have a conversation with yourself as if you're your own loved one. And what would you tell yourself in the midst of whatever problem that you're trying to solve in your life right now? You know, internally, without doing this activity, let's say for an example, you're telling yourself, "Oh, I can't start a YouTube channel because, I just don't want anyone to make fun of me and everyone's gonna judge me and I don't think I have a outgoing personality, so like what's the point? And I just don't think that my channel will grow." What would you tell your little sister if she said that to you? Like what would you tell your daughter if she said that to you as a supportive mother? What would you tell her? What would you tell your son if he said something like that to you? Like, "Oh, I don't think I believe in myself, so I'm not even going to try." What would you tell them? So you need to tell yourself that. You need to sit down and really talk to yourself like you would talk to a loved one because that's what self-love is all about. You need to talk to yourself like you love yourself, and oftentimes we don't. So let me know in the comments how the conversation with yourself went if you're going to do that. If you've already done it, how did it go for you? I just recently had a conversation with myself to stop myself from like self sabotaging. I was like, hey, I was just beating myself up because I wasn't at a certain goal yet. Like, I've reached so many goals so far, and I had to really take myself out of the equation and, give myself advice as my own older sister. and look at myself like a younger sister, because I give my younger sisters really great advice. And for those I love, you know, I'm real. So I had to be real with myself. Like, wait a minute, like, just because you didn't reach this one goal yet doesn't mean you're not going to reach it. Like, why are we beating ourselves up? How is this productive in any way? You know, let's acknowledge all the things that you have done. And once I actually sat down and told myself that and was talking to myself like I would talk to a loved one, it brought up my vibration. It energized me. It motivated me. It put me back in the spirit without having to need someone else to tell me to do so. Because some of us don't have a support system. Some of us don't have a community. Some of us don't have parents that support us. Some of us don't have friends that really not ride or die, but some of us don't have friends that really are there for us, that want to see us win. So if you're going through that, you can be your own support. You can be your own rooter. And to do that, you really need to talk to yourself like you're your own loved one, because most times we don't. And that's all I'm going to say for today. I just wanted to leave that here. Update on life. Should I update you guys on what's going on in my life? I have been exploring my look, and I'm thinking of going brown next. It's like really hard for me to like stop being a redhead, because like I really love it. I think this is my favorite hair color, but like I think I'm in the midst right now of experimenting with my look. So I'm like, okay, Malaysia, like it's we gotta get back on like switching it up. But I really, really love this color, and I don't want to let it go. But I just recently got myself a brown wig that is so gorgeous, and I'm so excited to try it. It's just a part of me is like, but I'm just so attached to like this look. You know, I'm like kind of not wanting to change up my look, but I'm excited to see what I look like. I think it's really exciting to experiment with your look and see like all the many ways you can be hot. I think that's one of the ways I shared on how to raise your vibration. If you guys haven't seen my 2 videos, I shared a few ways on how to raise your vibration to create the life that you want a lot faster, because when your vibration is raised, you have the energy to do the things needed to get to where you want to go in life. So definitely check out those 2 videos. I'll leave them in a description later on tonight when I get back home. What else is going on? You know, I'm just living. I'm out here. Just live, laugh, loving, you know? And I hope you all have a great night. Believe, build, and achieve.